Have you been looking at the Tarkir Dragonstorm pre-constructed deck list? The new commander decks are super sweet, and in this video, I've got 10 card updates for the Abzan Armor Precon list. What's up, everybody? It's your girl ZBexx. I'm a professional cosplayer and trading card game personality, and in this video, we're gonna go over the 3 non-creature spells and 7 creature spells that I upgraded 1 for 1. I'll tell you all the cards that I cut and the new cards, how they synergize with existing cards in the deck. In the Abzan Precon, there are 2 different commanders that you can choose as the commander that represent the 3 colors: Betor, the Steadfast, and Betor, Ancestor's Voice. It's important to note that for this video, I'm going with Betor, and I'm focusing on the fact that it has lifelink ability and a life loss ability, but I'm not trying to do what everybody is doing with Exquisite Blood and Sanguine Bond. I wanted to suggest some more unique upgrades specific to this deck. I'm also keeping the Defender Matters strategy in the deck because I think that's really fun, and we haven't seen it in a long time since Arcades came around. Before we jump into the 10 card upgrades, I wanted to give the land cards a shout out, like Great Arishan City. You can use its last ability to create a token. Maybe you need a little 1/1 to sacrifice for a spell. Caves of Koilos and Brushland, 2 pain lands that can allow you to add 2 different colors of mana, come in pretty useful with the commander's second ability. Yeah, you can use that life loss to reanimate creature spells from your graveyard. Here are the 3 non-creature spells I cut from the deck. Jaws of Defeat. This could be a really neat card, especially for a heavy gain and drain deck or focusing on other black mana strategies. But for my goals, I didn't really like that it only targeted 1 opponent, and at 4 mana, there were just other things I thought could go in that slot. Kolfiner's Urn also leans heavy into the Toughness Matters archetype of the deck. While it is really cute and brings back creatures eventually, I just feel like games might not go that late with the acceleration that I'll have. And Infernal Grasp is just a targeted removal spell. It does make you lose life, which has synergy with the deck, but I have better spells that I want to put in those places. Here are the 3 creature spells I added to the deck. Instead of getting rid of a single creature, I felt like this deck needed 1 more board wipe. I really like Spectacular Pileup. It just got printed in the previous set, Aether Drift. It has the ability to make other creatures and vehicles lose indestructible, and if you don't really need it, it's got cycling for 2. I thought about adding Fumigate or Farewell in this spot, and honestly, you could add any of them. Any board wipe will do. Costing 1 less mana than Kolfiner's Urn, Blind Obedience is a heck of a card. I mean, you could even say an extortionist from hell. The artifacts and creatures your opponent control will enter place tapped, so you've got a little bit of a stacks piece there. And it's got Extort, which if you've got additional white or black mana to pay 1 mana as you cast additional spells, you can make each of your opponents lose 1 life, and then you gain that much life. Whip of Erebos. It gives all of your creatures lifelink, so that's going to synergize super well with the entire deck, even without your commander being in play to put counters on things. And it gives you the ability to reanimate something from the graveyard. Nice! Here are the 7 creature cards I cut from the deck. These cards across the top row all really like the tokens matter thing. Hornet's Nest, I've found, really will stop people from attacking you because they just don't want you to have Death Touch tokens. So it can be difficult sometimes unless you're playing it with another color like red that can ping it. And Arasta, while cool, I just didn't want to go into the token synergy, and with creatures entering with power less, I feel like the Welcoming Vampire is also really benefiting from either of these 2 cards sticking in the deck. With the bottom row of cards, they all focus on the Toughness Matters synergy. I do think that some of the bigger hitting cards, the rares, are fun to play, but wait till you see what I have in store. Now, one card I want to give honorable mention that didn't make it into my upgrade lists or the stock deck lists, but is a creature that has less power and higher toughness, is one of my fan favorite cosplays, Kazandu Nectarpot. I like big butts and I cannot lie. I cannot deny I can't believe this card didn't make the cut. Now let's look at the creatures that I added. Starting off with a card that you can open in the new Play and Collector booster packs of Dragonstorm, Warden of the Grove. Now at the beginning of your end step, you put a +1/+1 counter on this creature, and then from each turn on, whenever a non-token creature you control enters, it endures X, where X is the number of counters on Warden of the Grove. And endure means you can choose to put that many counters on top of the creature, or put a single 2/2 spirit token into play. So I love choosing the +1/+1 counter part of it, and the rest of my upgrades don't even focus that much on +1/+1 counters. You could definitely add some effects like doubling season. From another set that came out this year, Foundations, we have Crystal Barricade. It's a 0/4 defender, so we're keeping in with that Defender Matters theme, and it gives you hexproof. It also prevents all non-combat damage that would be dealt to other creatures you control, so that's super handy, similar to Shalai that's included in the deck. But beware, it is an artifact, so it does die to mass artifact removal or targeted removal, like a Braid. Also from Foundations, Bloodthirsty Conqueror. Now this one is a mythic rare, so it might be a little bit harder to collect. Definitely a popular card right now as it's very good in standard. It has flying and death touch as a 5/5, but most importantly, whenever an opponent loses life, you gain that much life. So other opponents are helping me out. Even when it's not my turn and they're harming each other, I get to gain life and get triggers on my permanents. I can also make use of the abilities with my own permanents using Blight Pile or Wall of Limbs. Both of them have abilities that can allow me to trigger this pretty easily. All right, I know that last card was a crazy big hitter, so here's one that everybody should have in their collection already. It's Blood Artist. It's a 0/1, so it does still care about toughness, and whenever this creature or another creature dies, target player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. It's super helpful for triggering, even if it's not involving me. Other people are still losing creatures, I'm still getting triggers, and if needed, I can even make myself lose life. You know, that other ability on Betor has to do with losing life. Blood Artist also goes really well with some of the removal that comes in the deck, like Expel the Interlopers and Slaughter the Strong. There's a good chance that Blood Artist is going to survive those board wipes, and you're going to get all of the triggers from everybody else's creatures going. Archangel of Thune. Wow, this angel is a powerhouse. Now, she's very popular and has only been printed 1 time, so she is a little bit harder to get, if you know what I mean. She's flying lifelink, a 3/4, but my favorite part of her says whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. I like that Archangel of Thune is similar to Shalai, except you don't have to pay into the ability with 6 mana. You're able to just get the counters anytime that you gain life. So things like Nyx's Fleece Ram that trigger during your upkeep are going to be able to empower your creatures before your combat phase, and creatures, new creatures like Canopy Gargantuan are really going to appreciate all of your team getting buffed up and having a higher toughness so that even more counters can be put on your creatures. Angel of Destiny. She's got so much going on. She can gain you life when she deals combat damage. You can make deals with people because they're going to gain the life back when you deal combat damage to them. So just be sly about it. And she has a win condition printed on her, where if you have 15 or more starting life, each player you attacked loses the game. Typically in this style of deck, it's only a 1 player at a time type thing, but still, I'll take an alternate win con. She pairs really well with cards like Rock's Faith Mender that are going to help you gain life really quickly, because as soon as you have enough life, 55 to be exact, then you're able to start taking players out, especially if they don't have any flying blockers. Plus, she has double strike. So there's a good chance even if they have a little Thopter token, only one, you're going to still be able to knock them out. We've already got a few angels, so what's one more? It's Righteous Valkyrie. Now that we've got a few angels, the angel or cleric entering the battlefield sometimes will trigger a little bit more. You gain life equal to the toughness of those types of creatures. But I like that more importantly, if you have 7 or more life than your starting life total, your entire team gets a +2/+2 pump. I just wanted to point out that 5 of these updates out of the 7 creatures do have a lower power and a higher toughness, so I'm still sticking with the theme. One of them even had Defender. Alright, now tell me, Fab Fam, what card was I forgetting with the upgrade? Do you really think I should have thrown in a doubling season or something? Tell me what you think's missing, or tell me what your favorite card that I chose was that maybe you hadn't thought of for the deck list. As always, I appreciate you being here. You're the most important part of my channel. Remember, you are fabulous.